Welcome to Idea Success TV. Idea Success TV is your videocast that focuses on trends, practices, and solutions for moving ideas to action for both purpose and profit. Hear stories from people who have taken their ideas and brought them to reality to make an income and to impact the world. Be a part of ideation and pitch sessions. Learn about business trends and discover best practices and innovative ideas for bringing thoughts into reality and plans into action. And now, here's your host, Sylvia Henderson. Hello. Welcome to the show. I'm Sylvia Henderson, and I am your host for Idea Success TV. And I call this segment Idea Success with Sylvia, because I'm going to be talking to you just solo for this segment. I introduce you in a lot of the segments for Idea Success TV. I'm introducing you to colleagues, to experts, to other professionals who can help you with some aspect of what they do or their expertise, help you get your ideas out of your heart and out of your head and into action for profit or for purpose, if that's what your idea is about. And then when I was working out the television programs, I thought, wait a minute, I have expertise, I have thoughts that I would like to share. And since it's my party, I thought I will have a segment that's just me. And that's where Idea Success with Sylvia comes from. And so in these segments, I will share lessons that I've learned, or a lesson that I want to impart with you, a trend, a business idea, or something that I see that I think is of interest and can be of interest to you. Because what I want you to get out of this segment is a tidbit, a nugget that you can take with you and actually implement right after you're finished watching the show. Because that's what I'm about, ideas to implementation. And so this episode, I'm going to cover a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that's how we show up, how we present ourselves somewhat in writing, and a specific kind of writing, and somewhat visually when we walk into a room and people look at us and they make a judgment call. Because both of these are trends that I picked up in the newspaper in the last couple of weeks, actually. So one's about texting, and it's not all negative. One's about texting, and one is about clothing and what's appropriate attire in certain situations. And I'll tell you why both of those kind of relate to each other. See, one of the things that I'm doing is I work with entrepreneurs on their messaging, on not the words, but how they present their message. So I'm working with entrepreneurs, with startups and business founders on how to get themselves ready to pitch for raising capital, or to present their business, pitch their business to possible board of directors, or to grow a board, to grow a management team, maybe to reach out to potential employees. So there's many reasons why business people pitch. They may also be pitching for a grant or other reasons, other causes. But all of it is you are communicating a message about your business to other people. And in the last few years, the question of, so what's professional nowadays? Your old-fashioned, you'll notice I got gray hair here, your old-fashioned corporate days of professionalism where you're in your suit. And back in the day, I had a little silk tie that I wore with my suit. That was from, they don't even sell women's clothes anymore. Not Brooks Brothers, there's another store. I'll think of it later. And that was professional back when I was in the corporate world. So, and sending in a professional resume with a cover letter and well-formatted resume was the way you got a job or the way you got noticed back in the day. Well, what caught my attention today is what seems to be happening with trends today. And so I saw two articles and then I saw two rebuttal articles. So I want to share a little bit about each article and then sort of my take on what I read. So the first two articles came from, and you're going to see just a headline, came from the Washington Post, which is my local newspaper, and I still get it delivered to the front driveway. So I opened up the paper and I saw the article about is sleeveless appropriate for Capitol Hill? And the problem is nobody knows what appropriate means. And keeping that visual up there on the screen, the rebuttal article was related to that the House Code is going to be updated. Keeping that same image up there, the Wall Street Journal had an article almost simultaneously, and it talked about texting. Is texting good for getting you a job? And the headline, as you can see, made me go, huh? Texting lands you a job? Well, and then the other rebuttal article in the Wall Street Journal a couple days later is that texting is poor for many tasks, including job interviews. So those are the four articles that brought me to kind of go through the segment today. And now I'm going to give you little tidbits of each article, read them a little bit, see, real paper, read tidbits of the article, and then kind of give you my perspective. The other thing I want to start happening too with these segments is now that they're posted online at ideasuccess.tv, I'm opening comments to some of these segments. And so for this episode, the comment box is open. I'd like to get your opinion, pro and con, about the topic that I'm presenting today, whether it's about texting or whether it's about appropriate attire. So I invite you to comment, and I'll invite you a couple of more times within this episode. So here's the article. Here's the first one that caught my attention. Texting might help you land a job. I thought, huh? Or that Scooby-Doo answer, huh? You know, that you get, or from Scooby-Doo the cartoonist. I think I already said, I come from IBM. I come from an IBM background. And so texting to me just horrifies me in terms of professionally. And the thought that it will land you a job, I thought, no. But then I realized, you know, there are many years have gone by, and millennials are now managers. Millennials are now managers and business owners in positions to be interviewing people. And if you're in the millennial age range, you grew up texting. And so it may not be such a weird thing anymore to think that texting might land you a job. Here's a couple of pieces from the article. It says, your next job interview might happen via text message. And then it says, seriously, S-R-S-L-Y, so text language in the written article. Going down, I'm not reading the whole thing. It says, people don't want to have that 10-minute telephone conversation anymore if they could just reply with a quick text. And this is coming from a staffing executive, a job placement executive. It says that interview questions that employers can use, such as what motivates you, can easily be texted to the potential job interviewee. And the interviewee can text back what motivates him or her. There's software that analyzes candidates' responses, and this is their text responses, and that software organizes the responses and filters out candidates according to certain parameters that are put into that app. And just think, you might have all the credentials in the world to get that job, but based on what a bot figures out from your text might determine whether you get that interview or not for the job. It continues to horrify me. However, I realize it could be the sign of the times. And really what I want to know in your comments, do you agree with this or not? Would you reach out to a job candidate if you're an employer or business owner looking to hire somebody? And if you're interviewing, seeking a job, is this the way you're thinking about communicating? It says some 12 of millennials, defined as those people born between 1980 and early 2000, prefer the phone for business communication. I thought, wow, they do? Because I keep hearing millennials prefer texting, but it says they prefer the phone for business communication. Now, that may be millennial managers. It says, by contrast, 45% prefer chatting online or exchanging messages by email or text. So this goes on, the article continues to go on, and you can go online, find the Wall Street Journal, find the article, just Google, texting might help you land a job, and you'll find the article, because that's how I found it online, to read the whole article. Well, a couple of days later, so comments on that texting will help you land a job. A few days later, there was a counterpoint article that said texting is poor for many tasks, including landing job interviews. And translate job to texting for raising capital, for getting in front of an investor to raise capital, texting to a potential board member or member person who's going to be on your leadership team. So translate job to whatever it is you're communicating for your business with all of what I'm saying. So the counterpoint article says, as a millennial, this is written by a millennial, as a millennial who's in the midst of a career change, I feel that text-based interviews are not only impersonal, but oddly generic and merely enable otherwise uninterested candidates to put the word out there that they're there. So this millennial questions the quality and the competency of interviewees who feel that they may respond to text messages whenever they wish. So this millennial disagrees that texting is appropriate for landing a job. And there were a couple of comments to this article in the Wall Street Journal. It says, the writer has hit the nail. I'm going to read this directly. I thought, texting is not the only thing that needs to be worked on. The writer has hit the nail of the head, is what the comment says. The ability to communicate effectively by many methods is important, both for employer and employee. Text interviews are a sign of indifference on the part of an employer. And then there's another comment. I won't read that for the sake of time. Like I said, go find the article on the Wall Street Journal website and read it if you're interested. So overall, in terms of texting and landing a job, or texting and getting people interested in what you have to say professionally, that's what I'm addressing here, business and professional. Personal, hey, all bets are off. So professionally, do you think it is appropriate to use texting in a business context, especially to land first impressions? See, that's also the difference here. Once you've got the job, once you've related to your leadership team, your employees, your board, whoever it is you're communicating with, once you've established the relationship, then maybe texting is okay. At least this is my opinion in a professional environment. So that's one set of the trend that I wanted to address here in this segment. The other piece, really quickly, is the appropriate attire. The sleevelessness is going sleeveless. Now this is for women, and it's a little sexist, which was also part of the comment. Is going sleeveless appropriate? This was in the U.S. Capitol, where professionalism is really encouraged, and there is a dress code there. Is that appropriate? And it also talked about tieless men. So women can't wear sleeves, they can't wear open-toed shoes, and I believe men should not have to have a tie, and they have to have a jacket in the U.S. Capitol. So my question to you is, and the U.S. Capitol is right now, as this program airs, looking to change their dress code to allow for some of this in the summers at least. I'm thinking summertime in Washington, D.C., oh my goodness, summertime in Washington, D.C. is like 100 degrees and 95% humidity. So a lot of people are complaining about, especially guys who have to wear the jackets and ties and their long sleeve shirts, they're complaining about the dress code. So once again, these articles are in the Washington Post, of course, talking about the U.S. Capitol. And the articles say that it's surprising that this year there are still places in Washington where the powers that be feel it's wise and worthwhile to play fashion police. And it goes on to talk about what's acceptable attire and what is not in the Capitol, translate that to other formal professional environments. And what they say in the article is the crux of the rules, of the fashion rules, is not about naked shoulders or tieless men in shirt sleeves. A statement from the House Speaker says that members and visitors and press, because they kept the press out, should wear appropriate business attire at all times, especially during sessions, because the goal is to show mutual and institutional respect. So key in on those words, and then I'll throw out to ask you again to comment in the comment section for this show, for this episode, whatever your feelings about professional attire might be. Do you agree that professionalism, that attire is appropriate for showing mutual and institutional respect, whether that's to, again, the people that you're looking to impress and you're looking to communicate with, to really show how good or how professional your business is and how successful you are, or to show give the right message about your business and about yourself. So all of this, as you can tell, ties to the first impression, really, the first impression kind of message. Now, I used to, and I still do, when I'm working with entrepreneurs, I've written several books and I've done a lot of video, and I've got some courses and some workshops all about professionalism. And the different products that I've done on professionalism, you'll see here, and you'll see that center workbook is really an in-depth workbook and an in-depth text, and then all the surrounding items are related to how do we show up, how are we professional, and show our professionalism. And yeah, there's some shameless self-promotion. If you're interested in any of this, either for yourself or for your employees or your staff, contact me, and you see the link right there, in order to talk about getting any of this and getting any of the training that I do in terms of how you show up in the world. But I want to read you one item from the card deck. In the upper, I guess as you're looking at it, upper left, you'll see a card deck, success language. And I'm going to read from one of those cards that relates to first impressions. And so what I have on my card, this is one of the cards in the deck, is for first impressions is titled, it says, you make your own choices as to how others initially react to you. Examine your choices objectively and honestly regarding what you wear and how you look. Don't get angry with people when they respond to you a certain way. Realize that first impressions are based solely on how you present yourself to others. Evaluate your appearance, and other people's initial reactions to you, and decide for yourself if you'll change or if you'll live with the results. And I have a quotation on the back that I won't read that. I'll say, get the card deck if you want to get the whole thing. So the whole card deck and a lot of everything I do is, how do you show up? How do you show up when you're making a pitch? How do you show up when you're making a presentation or when you're talking to other people about your business? So without beating it to death, because I really want input from you, I want feedback, because I'm speaking, if you're watching this, you're of a variety of generations, a variety of experiences. Some of you are employers, some of you are looking for employment. Many of you, because that's who my audience is, are entrepreneurs and business owners. How do you feel about written communications, about texting, about how you show up and appear to make that professional first impression? Many times when I'm doing the show, I do it I have a blazer on, or I'll have a more buttoned up, for me, professional looking shirt and blazer. I purposely wore this polo shirt because it's business attire and do a lot of training in the tech world, and I'm building with a partner idea mind teams, which are group gatherings for business owners, many who are younger, many who are millennials. And so to appear professional to them, sometimes the decision is to wear a polo shirt and khakis or something instead of the button-down suit. So again, what makes a professional casual attire? Is it because there's a logo that represents your business? Yes, maybe. No, maybe, depending on the situation. Would I go present to somebody who I want to hire us and bring us in to run mind teams? That would probably be in a suit. So again, as I kind of bring this to a close, I ask you to comment at ideasuccess.tv in the comment section what your feelings are about professionalism and how you show up and how you present your business for whatever reasons you're conveying your business messaging. And so with that, I will end with, I am honored that you spent your time with me today, because time is one of your most important commodities. And I will bring you in subsequent episodes of Idea Success with Sylvia, where it's just me alone, other trends, other lessons, other ideas that I have that I want to bring to you so that you can implement them right away as soon as you end watching the program. So until next time, I don't know what I'm going to say at the end. Until next time, join me for another episode of Idea Success TV. Thank you for watching Idea Success TV. Idea Success TV is a syndicated production of the Idea Success Network and Village Connector Media, the People's Prosperity Network. Permission to share, repost, and rebroadcast is freely given, provided it's done without charge of an access fee. If you have questions about this broadcast, or if you'd like to be a part of an upcoming segment, please contact us at Idea Success TV Contact. Thank you for listening and watching Idea Success TV.